Hello, my name is Mayra Casares, and this video has been done as an assignment for course SWK 545, Generalist Social Work Practice 2, Groups, Communities, and Organizations at Grand Canyon University, and under the direction of Professor Lars Egerston on Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. This benchmark is for Topic 8, Planning and Intervention Video Presentation. Each year, more than 600,000 people are released from federal and state prisons, and approximately 9 million cycle in and out of jails. Being released doesn't necessarily mean that you are returning back to normal life. There are many systematic barriers that will prevent those that were incarcerated to access basic needs. During incarceration, individuals may face challenges with mental health and substance misuse that are not being treated accordingly. According to the National Alliance of Mental Illness, there is an approximation of 63% with mental illnesses that are not getting treatment, and more than 50% of the ones that were taking medication prior to being incarcerated did not continue to take their medication, causing them to get episodes of anxiety, depression, paranoia, and aggression. Physical health concerns arise with the population having hepatitis C, infectious diseases, type 2 diabetes, and other chronic diseases. There is also that stigma discrimination that they feel when society sees them as the scum of the earth. There is a lack of legal assistance to help them expunge criminal records to be able to find employment. Employers who are allowed to ask about former incarceration will reject those with felonies. This is also a lack of support with there is also a lack of support with housing. They're not being given the opportunity to reintegrate and the ability to land on and stay on their own feet. New Intervention Plan Overview Description. The title is Addressing the Incarcerated Community Through Technology, Treating Systematic Barriers in Mental and Physical Health, Substance Use Disorders, and Lack of Supporting Services. This is what the incarcerated populations encounter. The purpose is to obtain the required inpatient treatment post-incarceration for mental and physical health, substance use disorders, and make sure that there is knowledge of supporting organizations in the community that will equip with reintegration and drop the recidivism rates. The purpose of this is not only to help out with the mental, physical health, substance use disorders, but encountering a complete recovery and post-recovery by equipping them with the necessary tools to stand on their own by providing resources like legal assistance to obtain all their documentation, expunging criminal records, job search, educational, vocational, career possibilities, applying for government services like general relief, SNAP, Section 8, housing, Social Security, incapacitation, reconnecting with families. The use of the technology will be integrated into the intervention plan to assist with assessing the strengths and needs of the individual to be able to determine the risks of self-harm and/or their mental stability, the rehabilitation progress, the efficiency of the plan, goal management, educational job training goals plans, and developments, family visitations. Family visitation records would be used to measure their level of family support and allowing the individuals access to view their own outcomes and progress when they consider it necessary. And this is to go ahead and motivate their progress in the intervention, and so they can be self-aware of the changes and they can build upon on their strengths. The target time frame for the intervention plan can be anywhere from 12 to 18 months. And when we get into the phases, we will go ahead and describe how that process will look. The areas of focus are based on goals. The first goal is to provide the post-incarcerated population an inpatient residential treatment program and a rehabilitation plan, career development for employability. So with this, we want to incorporate the to the post-incarcerated population an inpatient treatment program uh, to provide appropriate rehabilitation plans addressing their psychological, physical, and vocational needs that will be targeted through the intervention plan and the overall program. It is known that when those that participate in educational opportunities, they will strengthen their ability to improve and be more employable when they seek a GED, career or technical education, college, or other post-secondary education. So this will go ahead and develop career employability. And then for goal 2 is to complete personal growth and change modules. The use of internet to find community resources and educational platforms. The use of an intervention program to gather the data and evaluate the outcomes by the individual. What goal 2 means is the use of technology by those post-incarcerated participants that can be utilized to complete personal growth and change modules, as well as treatment to access mental health services by training them on the importance of taking their medication and teaching coping strategies that can be used to minimize anxiety, depression, paranoia, and aggression. And this can be done by providing websites with materials that deal with mental health information specifically for their diagnosis. Also, a training in utilizing the internet ethically and for adequate abiding program guidelines for the use of resources search, and then to be able to enroll into a GED vocational higher learning education plan, applying for government assistance, and the use for transportation services where they can go ahead and get the bus schedule for transportation. They can see their progress in treatment, and they can also use the technology software to communicate within outside collaborating programs and resources to verify the progress um, that they're doing elsewhere, but also for in-house staff to verify the progress of the individuals within their services. The internet can be used for educational platforms such as Canvas or Halo. These are the ones that the major colleges and also high schools for GED use to be able to turn in and complete assignments. The ultimate goal is to make them self-sufficient, to be able to reintegrate with no problem back into society and be able to minimize the recidivism rate. The use of technological tools will keep the program at flow by incorporating a managing system like Theranest or CaseFlow that are used in case management plans by being able to document case notes on the progress of the individuals, monitor visit hours with family for family network supports because those family relationships are essential in the reintegration of the individual. The case program will also be able to manage the medications with dates and times to avoid any missed medications or double taking the medication. The input of drug testings can be done notifying staff on random dates to send out to their clients for random testing. If they're required to save money, uh, there is a ledger that can go ahead and have knowledge as to what has been provided by the client to save. Um, in the case of that family gives them money, um, it can also be recorded, and if they get paid by participating in field work at a site, um, that can also be deposited into their savings. Meetings will be completed with the individuals and their support groups to determine any needs or worries, as well as strengths that can be recognized by vendors and by families. The case management will access different reports with inputting information, and they will be generated on their own based on the report that is required for data analysis by staff. Technology use can be ethically um, used as well by providing a technology device guidelines for usage with those rules and regulations and staff and participants um, complying, um, they will be aware that if they do not, there are consequences of due to not following the procedures, and they get those privileges taken away. For staff, it would be it can lead up to termination. Implementation of the program uh, will also give supervisory positions the ability to see how their staff is coordinating by verifying all of documentation entries and see if any reports or other items are past due. So this will help them equip themselves and be able to monitor progress as well of the cases. The target population is incarceration, those that are incarcerated. And according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, they report that 155,000 inmates are in the United States federal prisons. 1 million of inmates are being housed in state prisons, and 600,000 detainees are in county jails throughout the United States. Uh, Sex and gender, 93%, approximately 1.7 million are male. 130,000 are female. And then the offenses that have a high number are 45% are serving time for a drug offense. Race ethnic backgrounds, and this is according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Data reveals that the U.S. incarcerated population shows the following ethnic backgrounds. 32% of them are Black, 31% are white, 23% are Hispanic, 14% are other races and ethnic groups. The intervention plan is focused in helping all those that are incarcerated in federal, state prisons, and in local jails. The program will support these individuals inside and outside of prison by helping them reintegrate into the community. Most of the participants that are released are unemployed, and they also lack housing and resources to support themselves. Many, upon release, will look for family support to help them while they integrate back by finding employment and a place to sleep. The program will be beneficial to those that want to be released and are looking for a healthy environment where they can prioritize their mental and physical health by complying with treatment, such as medication, but also look into psychological or psychiatric help. They will also be able to strengthen their abilities to improve their skills and be more employable if they further their education. These needs can be addressed with the use of technology where they are able to apply for government assistance and look for resources. The intervention will assure to address those gaps that are found in funding and available services. The key components and activities that will take place will be mentorship, The newcomers will be partnered with a support peer that has been in the program for a while, that will allow them to tour the facility and be able to present the newcomers of what their expectations of the program will be and what the program entails. This will be done by face-to-face gathering. The technology learning assistance is the use of an assigned computer will be given to the newcomers, and they will be restricted, where the individual will be able to complete online modules and e-trainings to become knowledgeable of their medical diagnosis and research about their medication symptoms. Um, and then also use the device to complete a personality test to better assist based on their results, just in case they have any personality characteristics that need to be considered behaviorally. Um, resources advocacy. The individuals must attend community activities that will help them with personal growth, like workshops on budgeting, choosing a career. They can also attend Celebrate Recovery, Bible studies, volunteer at a local church or resource service. Um, apply for government assistance programs, anything that will go ahead and be a positive outcome to their life where they can build those relationships with people outside that are trying to make a change. And for those activities, we will always make sure to have a representative to supervise while they're out in the community, just because we do not want them to be able to mingle with negative influences that will backtrack them. The reason for these key components and activities is to empower the incarcerated population and help them see possibilities and opportunities that may be available and bring change to them. And so we can have successful, measurable results as well. The resources that are needed are, of course, line staff. So we would start out with a program director, program manager, community relations, case managers, social workers, volunteers, information technology service department, grant writers, collaborations with other services, um, for financial sources, grants, donations, activity funding such as galas, thrift store sales, raffles, data analysts that can go ahead and let us know where the program stands financially. We will need to equip our employees. Also, the equipment that we use, we need to train on those. Computers for staffs, Chromebooks for the incarcerated population that are coming back into reintegrating, software programs, subscriptions, licensing, educational resources, community outreach brochures, office supplies, fax machines, copy machines, food provisions for participating individuals, and then also housing availability for those who are being in the program. Another line staff that we would probably need would be a therapist, if the social worker's not an LCSW, um, but therapist, and then also a psychologist in case we need to go ahead and give psychotropic medication. Um, for the many of the conditions that the population that we will be working with. Supervision supervision and consultation is essential. Supervision um, consulting with supervisor can be very beneficial because it will guide professional judgment by not being biased on certain issues that may arise when we're working with a client. Um, we need to be able to understand and speak with someone else so that if we are having a bias, we can go ahead and align ourselves, self-reflect on that. There might be problems that may arise, and supervision consultation is required for approvals on certain things and decisions that we need to make. Supervision also might have a different perspective on approaching certain issues. Supervisors have a better idea of policy and procedures, understandings that may benefit quick decision making instead of going and looking into a policy handbook. Supervisors might have other resources that as workers might not be aware of, since they have been online for quite a while. They should have more resources available that they can share so that um, line workers can go ahead and assist the clients. Supervision has the authority to approve referrals for resources and decision making. For example, if someone needs a clothing voucher, a hotel voucher, um, anything, we will need these supervision, recommendation, and approval for these decisions. So they are essential to our everyday uh, work um, and being able to complete our profession. We are going now over the phases, the timeline of our program. And during the first 30 days upon arrival, they will be in orientation. They will complete technological setup of equipment. Also, everything will be checked out, numbers, and will be matched with the person so that we can have an inventory of the equipment that we are issuing out. Complete the food and handlers training. This is very important as most of the participants will be um, making their own meals and will be assisting in making meals for others. So that is one of the requirements that the program asks that everyone completes during the first 30 days. Detox will take place if someone is coming into the program under the use of substances or alcohol. During phase two, after 30 days to 3 months, the following needs to be done. And that's 3 hours per week of volunteer work. And the volunteer work can be done anywhere that is authorized and that is a positive environment. And of course, within the community, the set, we're going to set program goals, meet with program counselor once a week, and complete the education and then also the needs and strengths assessment so that we can have a better idea on how to help out our clients. Um, During phase three, after between 3 and 6 months, we will continue to volunteer 3 hours per week, meet with counselor weekly, and work on vocational or educational assignments for 20 hours per week, meaning that at this point they should be already enrolled in a post-secondary education or completing their GED. And then they will go ahead and fulfill class attendance with activities, meaning that they will go ahead and participate in their Celebrate Recovery, Bible studies, anything that will go ahead and build their support group with positive influences. Phase four is after 7 months to 10 months. and they will begin their job search by completing their resume and letterheads. They will go ahead and subscribe to different websites where they will be able to submit their resume online, and then they will also have the opportunity to go into the community and be able to seek for employment. Of course, they will be partnered up with another person that's doing the same thing, just so that we can have that supervision from one and out, well, from one to another, and it can be a way of keeping safe in the community as well, and preventing from any um, um, reintegration to into the criminal activities. Um, during and well after the 10th month, which is in phase 5 and ongoing, the individual has the opportunity to be a peer mentor for new cohorts that are going to be coming in and complete the training, get a driver's license. They will be allowed to have a vehicle. They will be able to commute to school, where they will not be required to take online classes anymore. They will be able to transition into housing to save money as long as they are employed, and they are able to do that for the following 6 months, um, where they will go ahead and save their money for possible deposit or anything to move out of the program, and then the final 6 months, if they have not uh, gone through the uh, finding a physical place where to live, then they will start paying a rent fee for their room. Um, and then from there, they can still continue and participate in the program to get the services that they need via the program. To come out with positive outcomes, there has to be continuous evaluation of participants' progress, and all planned goals and implementations need to be documented into the case management software, and they also need to be completed within the time frame that is given. Um, the target date. Consultations with supervisors regularly to have self-awareness of our personal biases, making sure to adhere to the professional and ethical judgment that the social work profession requires, and not only come up with our own opinions and our own judgments. Making sure to do computer and mobile phone updates are uh, completed to get information up to date on any device. Make sure that all systems are used for professional purposes and not for personal use. Analyze the data that was received and measure the outcomes of the program intervention. And this is also that we can get additional funding through the process. I would like to conclude with this quote. It says, people don't grow where they're judged. They grow where they're safe to be wrong. Be the leader who makes that possible. And it's a quote from Ellis Watkins. And I would like, we need to be free of judgment or biases in our social work practice. As humans, we fall short from being perfect. Therefore, we need to understand the person to the best of their ability, that they need help, and that we are no one to say that they are wrong. Um, we need to be empathetic and compassionate to their needs by making them feel acknowledged, noticed, and let us be those leaders in the profession that can make their needs possible. without any type of judgment towards them. We believe in second chances, in being able to modify and change lives completely. And that's one of the mottos of our. Here is the page for the references. And I would like to say thank you for listening to my presentation, and thank you very much.